Japanese people have normal genitalia. Their junk isn't actually pixelated in real life. What are dark secrets about the porn industry that people should know? Hey, welcome to another storytime. I'm Andrew, your narrator. If you enjoy the video, consider liking and subscribing for more dank storytimes. Thanks, let's start these stories. Johnny Sins is not an astronaut or firefighter or police officer. It was once legal in some countries to use children. Many of the 18-year porn stars were recruited when they were 16 or 17. The trafficked 15-year-old was found on Pornhub. Almost 100 videos. She was verified by Pornhub while trafficked. A lot of actors takes a lot of drugs. Like a lot. Plus basically every male actor gets erectile dysfunction after being in the business for so long as they are pumped up on Viagra. Most men in gay porn are straight, they just get paid more for taking it up the bum. Edit. To all of those saying that doing gay porn makes you gay, I'll say this. Doing something you don't really enjoy, but pretending you're happy is what the rest of us call a day's work. James Dean, the famous porn star who made a killing by looking like an authentic, genuine dude, is a rapist, according to several costers and his ex-girlfriend Stoya. But the porn industry didn't get a Me Too movement, so he's still in porn, and Stoya isn't. And it wasn't even a funking secret. Edit. Apparently she's still doing porn, just on her own platform at zerospaces.com. This is a well-done thing. They're almost all prostitutes. Most people don't put two and two together, but yes, it is easier to persuade a prostitute to do a porn than it is to persuade actors and actresses to do it. I grew up in the San Fernando Valley. The industry was very tight-knit and closed off. But everyone knew people in the industry in some capacity. Pornhub actively removes any criticism on Reddit using the admins. You'll receive at minimum 3-day suspension, or perhaps more, just for mentioning that they consistently fail to remove child porn or non-consensual rape videos. Just Google Pornhub fails to remove videos. Too many to count. Edit. It's under harassment on the content policy. Not sure if it's been said yet, but the outdoor or public scenes require permits to shoot. 80% of the time the crew shows up with a police scanner and cheeses it before the cops show up. Edit. Yes folks, there's worse out there than evading paperwork filing costs in the porn industry, but when posting initially I really expected this to be overlooked. Also, cheese it is an outdated term apparently. Oh, I also used to drive some exotic dancers 2 or 3 cities to do regular doctor appointments. They never felt safe going local because they always get recognized and people get creepy. Not sure if that counts as porn industry, but I'd imagine the same rules apply. The whole tons of Viagra thing is absolutely true, and so is the bit about casting directors playing fast and loose with STDs. I have a friend that once turned down a shoot for a gay porn at a campground because none of the actors were required to be tested beforehand. A few of them ended up contracting HIV from that shoot. The grooming and locking. If you've never heard of locking, it's basically when a group of girls doing porn are living together, typically, and they are pressured to spend their money by producers who claim to be their friends. The goal here is to diminish any sort of saving money thought process, and they make it out like the money will never stop coming. This keeps them broke and making doing more shoots. Edit. Just wanted to say thanks for the upvotes. Hopefully this will be top comment so more awareness gets out. Grooming doesn't stop because they made a few videos. 1. Amateur homemade 18yo vids are likely not 18. 2. The industry gives no shirts about protecting minors. If it were legal they'd go as low as they could. C. Japan, Color Climax, Tracy Lords. Tracy Lords' case is especially despicable due to all the hate she received when it came out she was 16 in her vids and 14 in her pinups, as well as the fact that in 1987, they made a porn film about her sexual exploitation. 3. Pornhub specifically makes it especially difficult to get minors taken down from the site, even if you report multiple times. Several famous minors are actually recommended search terms. 4. Not really the industry, but whenever there's a high-profile rape in the news, the victim's name becomes a popular search terms on all sites. I don't think people realize just how many videos contain people being trafficked. Edit. Because this has gained much more attention than I anticipated, I'll elaborate some. But I encourage you to research this more. Today, there is an estimated 30 million people that are being trafficked. This is modern-day slavery. Children, women, and even men are bought and sold as property for the purposes of being a sex slave, forced labor, or even organ harvesting. It is so repulsive and yet so hidden and unknown. The sad thing is, many children get caught up in this after natural disasters or other tragic situations. For example, with the recent explosion in Lebanon, criminals may set up orphanages that are not registered with the state, and just like that a child can be taken. I learned much of this from a podcast episode with Timothy Owens as a guest on the Candace Owens Show. Even if you aren't conservative, this is a good, objective and informative discussion to listen to. Thank you if you read this entire thing. I just felt I needed to use this opportunity to give a voice to the unheard. Some girls are tricked into filming the video. They're promised to do some modeling, and when they arrive they find out that it's more than just a few pictures. Porn is a big human trafficking industry. Nowhere near as rampant and dangerous as child trafficking, but it's still very active. I'm not in the adult entertainment industry, but I booked a boudoir photo shoot a few years back to surprise my boyfriend, and I booked with this amazing photographer. I was raped during the photo shoot. A video recorder was on the entire time that of course captured everything, and the video went to the black market. The photographer was actually deep into sex trafficking, but these traffic rings stay 100 steps ahead at all times that the police investigation became cold very fast. Nowadays, it's very similar to a studio-style 9-5 job. Nobody is really making a lot of money anymore. I've been in and out of it for about 25 years. It's morphed into this industry where smarter people use pornography to build a brand. The people that were popular 25 years ago wouldn't get far today because they were primarily interested in getting paid up front for shooting scenes. If I'm going to do this, I want $300. Those types. So, those people could go out and get paid $600 per film, which was great money back in 2001. Many people busted their asses to make as much content as they could, but there was no residual income after that. So that's why in the late 90s and early 2000s, there were simply so many films. Now, the women are tracking their income on the back end with things like Snapchat and OnlyFans. It's not a cleaner industry by any means. They recruit young women and teens from troubled homes or rebelling against their parents. They lure them in with money and the ability to live free and do what they want. All they have to do is some amateur porn. Once away from friends and family, they are put in a house with other young women in the industry and given a room. They bond and go to shoots or whatever. They get paid a lot and they love it. Some get hooked on drugs, almost all have bad experiences. The person who owns the house they live in takes a cut of everything. It's all a bunch of teen girls, so it's not a very clean place. The turnover rate is astounding as well. It's a miracle essentially if you last longer than 4 months without a mental breakdown or going home and never returning. Edit. Not all girls, guys, people who go into porn, amateur or otherwise, come from bad homes. Though 40% of porn actresses report being molested as children. It's not indicative of the industry or the people employed within. Edit 2. I apologize for this edit, but as it seems to have slowed down, I'll make it now. Thank you for the gold, kind stranger. Never had it before and that's pretty cool. Also didn't expect this to blow up. Now my top comment is about how the porn industry is predatory. At least it's a gold way to raise awareness. Rape is common and so is coercion. Yes, I know coercion is rape. I'm trying to specify economic coercion. I've read stories of ex-porn actresses who talked about showing thinking they were doing one scene and being told they would be doing a gangbang, and if they refused, they would be fired. Many of these women are poor and struggle to make ends meet, so they are offered drugs and alcohol to get through the scene, most scenes. I saw a Tosh.0 episode with a porn blooper, and some poor girl was crying and throwing up cum while everyone around her laughed. Women are treated horribly on set. The assault and disregard for their well-being is shocking. Edit. I have been informed I did not watch the whole video. Apparently I was mistaken. Please forgive me, it was like 9 years ago? I couldn't even watch the whole video. So I did not remember correctly. Pornhub constantly has underage people on their website. Many girls and young boys are trafficked and porn is used to advertise them. Many girls who don't do porn suffer the consequences of their porn-sick boyfriends. Some girls experience anal or vaginal tearing, or experience pressure to do dangerous things, or are just pressured to give oral all the time. All of this I learned from various sources, just look up ex-porn stars, and also from Dr. Gail Dines, who studies the effects of porn on our culture. Thanks for watching. What did you think of the story time? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video, smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any more story times.